Guys, welcome back to a brand new video on my 2014 L405 Range Rover SDV8 autobiography. So we've had this car a little over 2 years, and my video for the 12 months, we had it 12 months or so, I did a review video of it, and that has gone viral. It's done so many good views, so I thought I best do a 2 year one up to date. I'm guessing everyone's seen how affordable these L405 Range Rovers are now. They are absolutely so affordable. I've seen some are like 15 odd grand with less than 100,000 miles, you know what I mean? Which is crazy, isn't it? I paid nearly 40 grand for this like 2.5 years ago. So yeah, I am still in love with it. I usually get a 2 year itch and I usually change them, but I absolutely love the thing. I've recently just added ceramic coated. A good friend of mine has started up doing it as a bit of a hobby. So I had it single stage machine polished and ceramic coated, and I even got all the plastics machine polished. And you know what I mean? Look at it; it looks absolutely amazing. I absolutely love the thing. What I like about it the most, well, yeah, let's talk a little bit about it. What I like about it the most is it's just so perfect for our family. We've got 2 kids and 2 big dogs, and we do a lot of UK holidays. You know, centre parks, log cabins, a bit of camping, and it's absolutely perfect for that. You know what I mean? You get the kids in, you're getting 35 odd to the gallon on a run. You know what I mean? 4.4, 350-ish brake. You know what I mean? It's enough power. It's super smooth. This one's got the entertainment pack, so it's got the tellies in the back of the screen with a DVD player. Put the Toy Story on. You know what I mean? Or their Peppa Pig DVDs, because I've only got young children. I've got one who's 7 and one who's 3, and they're happy. You know what I mean? It's a nice environment, and you know your kids are in a nice, safe vehicle, aren't they? You just when you're in something like big, like an SUV. It's got a tow bar for when I ever want to move any of my cars around. I've got a couple of classic cars. Anyone that's not new to the channel and follows me will know that I've got an Escort Cosworth and I've got a Mark II Escort. So yeah, I tend to move them around every so often, you know what I mean? And I need to use the tow bar. This one's got the electronic tow bar that goes up and down. So I absolutely love the thing. I always get a 2 year itch. Always. I had an L322 4.4 TDV before this, and as soon as I'd added 2 years, I was on the move looking for something else. You know what I mean? Even though you can't afford it, you are, aren't you? You can get car finance, you can get car loans, so you're always looking. If you're like me and you're a car nut, you're always looking. I keep looking at the BMW X5, X3 M competitions, but I'm just a Land Rover man. I've had about 4 Land Rovers, well, 4 Range Rovers, and I've had about 4 Defenders, and I've had 2 Land Rover Discoveries. So I think I'm just gonna. I think it's just literally tattooed on me. You know what I mean? Land Rover. It's in my genes. I just like Land Rovers. You know what I mean? And Range Rovers and stuff. So I think I'll probably keep this, or I might go for the facelift version of this. I don't really like the newer version of it, but that's a long time that's a long time away because I absolutely love this thing. I really do. So anyway, let's get back to the video. So what I thought is I'd do a video on 2 years, how much it's really cost me on 2 years ownership. So when we fill the car up, we usually get around 25 to 27 miles per gallon. It costs £155 at the local Shell petrol station, and I put super diesel in, and that usually gives me around 450 miles worth of range, you know, round town. If we do a run, I usually get about 600. It can push to about 600, but the car will be doing between 32 and 35 miles per gallon on the range. So that gives you a bit of an idea of how they are. They're not actually that bad on fuel. I've had much worse cars. I used to have an X5 years ago, an E70 X5 3 litre twin turbo, and that was absolutely horrendous on juice. That was like really low 20s round town, and you could never get into the 30s on a run, you know what I mean? So that just kind of puts a bit of perspective of how good these are. Bit of a bad thing is the car insurance. The car insurance doubled last year. I haven't had the renewal yet through for this year, because when I bought the Range Rover, I bought it halfway through the year. Well, should we say halfway through my policy on my black L322 Range Rover. So I paid the extra and carried on the policy. So we've got to have to go through about halfway through this year, and then the insurance will be due again. The first year it was about £800, and then it jumped up to about £1,500 last year. So that was because they were all getting stolen, weren't they? You know what I mean? So literally, that is one of the worst things about them. Don't know what the insurance is going to be like this year yet. I'm hoping it's not as much, or maybe gone down a little bit. And really, I'm hoping that. Car tax. So the car tax is a bit of a killer as well. This is one that was before the ULAs come in. It's 2014. I think 2015, 2016 is when the ULAs, when they had stop-start technology. But them ones have issues again. So let's not get into them ones. Let's talk about my one. So this one is cost me £55 a month to tax. So what is that? Is that 700? The top end's £700 a year to tax. So it is quite expensive. I pay for all my cars monthly. I'm not Nelson Rockefeller. I've just got a normal job. So I pay for them monthly. So yeah, so I literally just £55 a month, and it just comes out the bank, and I don't worry about it, and the car's taxed. You know what I mean? It is what it is. You've got to pay for car tax. You've got to get your car MOT'd. You've got to pay for car insurance. It is what it is. You just take it on the chin when you buy a car, don't you? It doesn't matter what car you want. It's just what you buy, innit? Yeah, so they're about they're like the free running costs, should we say? Your MOT, what's your MOT? 55 a year at the most if you go to a dealer. 45 if you go to a private garage. You know what I mean? Sometimes you can get them for £35. But yeah, I think I pay £45 from the local garage just to get MOT'd. I usually put it in Ian Barclay's. We live on the Wirral. And Ian Barclay is our local Land Rover 4x4 specialist. He does all the servicing on the car, because this has to have the servicing put on the Land Rover website, and Ian Barclay can do that. Some cars, not Land Rovers, but some cars, I know the BMWs and that, have the servicing on the key itself. These don't. These have the service. They don't have a service book where you stamp. Servicing goes on the internet. And Ian Barclay is able to do that, so that's why I use him. He has a really good rate of hours, and I've used him for years, working on Defenders, working on my Range Rover Sport, working on my L322 Range Rover, Vogue, and working on this one. He even done all the warranty work that it needed doing on the first year. I bought this from a company down in Essex, a really, really nice guy. And he gave me a warranty, 12-month warranty I had with it, and it was a really good 12-month warranty actually. When I first bought it, these had an issue where when you're trying to check the oil level, and I'm dead meticulous because I'm an engineer, you try and check the oil level, and the oil level shows on the dash, and it's a sensor in the sump, and this one wasn't showing. It wouldn't let me see the oil level. I knew it had been serviced, but it was a kind of a little pet hate of mine, and I wanted to get it sorted while I had the warranty, and the warranty paid for about 90% of the work. I think I had to pay for the oil and a few hours labour. It cost nearly £1,000 to get that oil sensor changed. There's a few parts, some gasket, oil filter, etc., because you've got to take the sump completely off. And it was like about 7 hours labour, and I gave that to Ian Barclay, and it was done, and it was absolutely spot on straight after, and they dealt with all the warranty company, and yeah, they got paid by them. I usually, so right, we talk about the big fault. I had another fault last year. We were towing the caravan, and I was tonking along, and the road was about to go into one lane, and there was a wagon right next to me. So I put my foot down, and when I put my foot down, the car was under a bit of load. Didn't really think much of it. Shortly after that, I had restricted performance pop up on the dash. Restricted performance. We got home. Car didn't clonk out or anything. It just didn't have 100% of its performance. It was still perfectly usable, still perfectly safe to get back. Got back, put the caravan away, etc., as you do, and got a friend to come up with his snap-on solace and got him to plug it in, and it was saying boost sensor, the map sensor that's on the inlet manifold. Not a big job at all. 2 cap heads, and it's off, and you have to get a new part. So I bought a genuine Land Rover one for £150. That was VAT included, and fitted that myself, and the fault went away. So it wasn't a big issue. When I took the map sensor out to fit the new one, it was literally clogged with carbon. So as you can understand, there's a lot of cars get clogged with carbon, and this must be exactly the same. This still runs its DPF and its EGR. touch wood, I haven't had any issues with it, but I don't do very many short journeys with it. We do quite a lot of long journeys, and I tend to get on the motorway at least once a week and do 3 or 4 junctions, get it really hot, give it a bit of a tonking, bring it down to 6 gear, etc. So I think that is a must with diesel cars. If you just tootle around town, I think you are going to get carbon build-up. Yeah, so they're kind of the main costs that this car's cost me, other than servicing. There's a big thing with the L405s, with the 4.4 SDV8s, that they suffer from oil dilution with the what it is, the DPFs are getting like filled up, and then the car tries to do like a regen type of thing, and it dilutes the oil with diesel. So what when you look on the forums, the best thing to do is just change the oil, because you're never going to stop the car trying to do its regen or trying to do everything. So it tends to change the oil every 4,000 miles. You might think, bloody hell, that's crazy, 4,000 miles. Land Rover actually say 10,000 miles on their servicing. But 4,000 miles isn't really that much, you know what I mean, when you think of the grand scheme of things. This car was £105,000 new. What are we? So it's 2014, well, 11 years ago. It's crazy, isn't it? Doesn't look 11 years old, does it? Yeah. So this was £105,000 when I did the HPI check when I first bought it. Did a full HPI check, and it told me how much it was when the first owner bought it new. So yeah, I service it every 4,000 miles. I think we've done less than 20,000 miles in the 2 years we've owned it. So I've literally only had to service it. I've actually just recently got it serviced, and I got it serviced for me and Barclay again, my favourite man, and he charges £155 for an oil and filter change on one of these. And you've got to remember, I think it is 8 to 10 litres of oil. That's a lot of oil, you know what I mean? It can be quite expensive. And I always get the 2 air filters changed at the same time. So that's 2 air filters, the oil filter, and the oil. And I get that changed, and it is on the service history. So that is not really that expensive in my eyes. You're just really paying for parts and an hour or so labour. £155, I can deal with that every 4,000 miles for a bit of peace of mind in your head, you know what I mean? So they're kind of a bit of the running cost on this car. It hasn't really cost me a huge amount for the 2 years of our ownership, a little bit over 2 years. I absolutely love the thing. There is nothing out there for the same sort of money that I'd want to buy at the moment. I absolutely love it. I think maybe in the future I might change it, maybe a couple more years, but I absolutely love it. It's perfect, and it's perfect for our family, and it still looks amazing. You know what I mean? Look at it. Just look at it. It's got the 22-inch turbine wheels. They could do with a repolish. It's Fuji white with the white cream interior, and I absolutely love it. It's actually in lowered mode there. That's why it looks so good sat there. So guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Hope it gave you a bit of an insight of how much it's cost me for the last 2 years. Well, 2.5 years ownership. Do not be scared about buying one. Just buy one with service history. And if you really are that bothered about them, buy one with a really good warranty. Don't be satisfied with the normal car garage 3 months, 6 month warranty. Find a really good warranty, you know what I mean? And get warranty with it. Don't be scared about buying a car, because every car has their own faults. They have issues. So don't be scared about buying the car that you've really wanted because you've heard of all of the horror stories. A lot of the issue with the Range Rovers is people buy them and they can't actually afford to run them. They can afford to pay for them, and that's perfectly fine, but they can't afford the servicing costs, the running costs. Like, when we first bought this, I had to put 4 tyres on it. That's £1,000 to put 4 tyres on it. I put the original Contis, Continentals, the cross-country ones. They're like this. Well, they're not mud and snow, but yeah, the cross-country tyres. These are the original ones that it came with. That's £1,000. You've just got to budget that in, you know what I mean? And you've got to deal with it. Put on a credit card, you know what I mean? Lend some money off a friend. I don't know. But if you can't afford to run these sorts of cars, you shouldn't be buying them. And I think that's half the trouble. People look for Range Rover ownership. They buy one. I'm not trying to sound snooty in that, because I don't want it to come across like that, and I don't want it to sound like that. But yeah, people buy them and they can't afford to run them, so they run them on a shoestring. They don't service them. They don't when a fault pops up on the dash, when it starts clunking as it's going over speed bumps. They have issues like that, and they forget about it. They forget about it. They forget about it. Then when it goes in to get serviced, or it goes in to get MOT, then it fails on tires, fails on front arms, fails on wishbones, fails on fucking anti-roll bar links, fails on a leaking AC pipe. You know what I mean? Then the bill's huge. And they get stung, and they pay the bill, and they sell it, and they move it on, and they go, I'm never owning a Range Rover. They're absolutely horrendous. All cars have problems. It's just these need a bit more looking after, and that's all it is. I absolutely love it. I love the badge. I love the car. I love what it's all about. I love how it looks. I love how it makes me feel. I love the power. I love being inside it. Kids love it. I know the kids are safe. I know the wife's safe in it when she drives it. You know what I mean? It's a nice looking thing. And it doesn't actually look 11 years old. You tell me that. Does that look 11 years old? No, it doesn't. I threw my private plate on. No one would know how old it is. So, all right, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe. And I'll see you on the next one. If you've got any more questions, bang them in the comments. And I try to answer every question. All right. I will see you later.
All you roaches, please like and subscribe.